Oh, well.
Bit of a different location.
Hello, everyone. We're in Sam's apartment.
It's not a Ratfood on the road.
No.
It's a monoxide poisoning.
We're going to say what it actually is monoxide poisoning at work.
Has infiltrated the rat bag and Ratfood headquarters. Everyone's fine. Everyone's safe.
Everyone's safe.
We sit on my floor of the apartment right now recording Ratfood to you because we have to chat to you, rats.
Tom messaged us and went, girls, I don't know about coming into work today. And we went, what do you mean? He said, we have all just been evacuated.
But here we are.
It's giving like asbestos adjacent situation. But hey, nothing's too much trouble for you.
No.
For you.
No. The day is, what's today? The day is Tuesday. We've woken up to Jojo Siwa breaking the internet.
And what a way to start the day.
Yet again.
What a way to start the day.
What a
I
rasp.
think we should each do our own impression of it.
Okay, go.
Okay. He sounds right in the road.
Here we go. Here we go. And now, no, I can't even. I can't even do it.
It hurts.
No.
So much.
Jesus.
We were trying to do it before, and I was like, Sammy, it hurts my voice, but it must be unpacked. We made an absolute TikTok like tanked about this.
We're fine with the tanking TikTok.
We're fine with the tanking TikTok. One thing about I feel like Edinburgh did this for us. We talk about ego death a lot.
Oh, we experienced the biggest ego death of all.
Ego death. Nothing can hurt us.
Yep.
There's something about having a career where you need to put things into the world.
Yep.
And I feel like we've quasi covered this over the last few weeks talking about, we've touched on a few times like hate comments and like people just like hating women doing anything. And it's like you actually just have to be okay with it.
Yep.
You have to be okay with things tanking.
We've walked out on stage in our Where's Wally costumes to an audience of people at Edinburgh Fringe where we had to say towards the end of the song, we promise it's almost over.
Because they actually wanted us dead.
Genuinely. And now we've been asked to do more of these gigs this year and we're like, we don't know if it's worth it. Worth it for the mental health.
Worth it. Although maybe it is worth it so that we can continue our journey to knowing true ego death.
That's actually good, the experiment of ego death. Maybe we just do it to die a bit more.
Yeah. I think it's good.
Do you have a moment you've ever died on stage before that isn't this moment? When we did Where's Wally?
What, like, have you had a embarrassing moments on
like
stage?
something completely hasn't landed?
Oh, I've flashed an entire tit.
When?
When shipwrecked. Remember?
Oh, yes.
I let an entire Titolina out of its cage.
An entire Titolina went flying. Bloody hell.
Guys, all of that to say, ego death, it's a beautiful thing. You put videos out on the internet. We put a video out on the internet today that was simply about the mind-blowing phenomena that is Jojo Siwa. And I don't want to give it more airtime than it's worth. However, and it was really funny. We put this video out and pretty much our take on Jojo Siwa is this.
Yeah.
It is an absolute phenomena.
Yep.
She is a phenomenon in and of herself.
Yeah.
That she just always manages, as soon as you think it's the most insane thing, or as soon as you think it's the thing that's going to garner the most thing.
Yep. Or you think you've forgotten about
Or
her.
you think you've forgotten. It's like the game.
Yeah.
Being like, just lost the game.
Yep.
She's like the game.
Yep.
She's always finds another way. And we were like, you got to hand it to her. There's something in that. And still people in the comments were like, try supporting women. And we were like, we are.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is she is her own marketing genius and it's very impressive.
She's her own marketing genius. And what we were trying to unpack before we got on mic is we were standing in the kitchen making a tea and we were kind of going back and forth. And we would love to hear your opinion. We haven't quite figured out if she's fully aware and knows that she's fully cringe and rage baiting, or if it's the opposite and it's deliberate.
I don't think, and what we quasi landed on is I don't think it's as far self-aware as someone like a Trisha Paytas, where it feels like it's because there's a world in which the content that she's making, all the stuff she's doing, people are like, hell yeah, gorgeous.
Yeah.
Because there are so many supporters of the Chris and JoJo relationship, which is a whole other thing.
Yeah.
However, I'm like, no, I think she made that video and was like, I think I sound gorgeous. This is pretty romantic.
Yep.
And I think there's an element, she goes, people are going to hate me for no matter what I do. And so she leans in I reckon she leans into her gut instinct and goes, I'm going to go for this. And people will probably think it's crazy. And then they do. And here we are. It's a constant loop.
I just admire that tenacity. And there are so many more people that could take a leaf out of her book in self-love and just being like, I'm making coin. I'm still relevant. I don't care at what cost.
Jojo Siwa.
So that's how we woke up this morning.
That's how we woke up this morning.
If you haven't heard the video, go and listen.
It's really something special. It really is.
What I am ready for now is the onslaught of vocal coach TikToks being like, today we're going to be talking about her sound and why that is really unhealthy. And it's like, we don't need those videos, but I will
be eating them up.
But I will be eating them up.
Do you know the other thing that I cannot stop thinking about?
What?
Is the, what's the word I'm looking for? The resurrection. The resurrection of Rachel Zegler.
Yep.
Are you across this?
Of course I'm across it. Of course. I missed going to the Evita balcony moment by a day and went, God, I'm in the city.
So true.
I was in London at the time.
And
the day that I was in the city and thought that I could go see her for a matinee, it was a day that they didn't do a matinee. And I was like, I was literally in Soho being like, fuck, I love London. Never mind. So it was short-lived.
Oh, that would have been insane.
Yeah. I feel like it's not a resurrection of Rachel Zegler.
You don't?
No, I feel like...
In Evita?
No, in Evita, I think she's so loved by the people that love her. There are the people that don't really think about music theatre and just couldn't stand that PR moment with Snow White.
Yeah.
But I think the people that can see talent love her.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Bold take, but I do believe that.
I feel like it's never been disagreed on, though, that she is wildly talented.
Yes.
Because even when people were doing the whole like, oh my gosh, she's so like Rachel Berry, like cringe on the red carpet, like with all the Snow White of it all.
Yep.
I feel like people never were like, and she's not talented, but it's like she's talented, but in a Rachel Berry kind of way with her personality sometimes. But I feel like these videos have come out of her performing in Evita right now, and everyone's like, never mind, forgot.
People will forget all the other things that they said yesterday.
Because she is so spectacular in these Evita videos.
Yeah, you can't argue with her talent. And Mel said, you said something before when you're like, I feel like she's going to be the next Barbara Streisand.
I genuinely believe it.
I think that's a very, very fair take.
Her vocal chops and her technique and her musicality and her like... Yeah, just like her storytelling that she does through music is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And her vocal chops are just out of this world.
Yeah. Have you seen the video of her being like, please don't disrespect my Manny?
Yes, I loved that video.
It's perfect.
It's perfect.
I feel like, and this could just come from being young, or maybe I'm wrong. I feel like her, when she has her like red cut, because you can tell she's trying to market herself as like, she knows she's a pristine, fuck off talented singer, and that's going to rub some people the wrong way. So she's trying to adapt this kind
Being
of like
a woman is impossible.
Cool girl, chill attitude. But I almost want to say to her, it's like what I said about Renee Rapp a few weeks ago. Keep the character shoes on. You're not fooling anyone. It's okay to just fully back your craft. I feel like when she tries to be this like cool girl, I'm like, I feel like it's not truly her. And that's coming from someone that tries to be a cool girl that is I'm deeply a dork. And I deeply care about Lydian scales and tap shoes. But I like to...
Not the modes.
Do you know what I mean? Sharp fourth. It's me.
I know exactly what you mean. I understand what you're saying, but I actually think I disagree with you. Because in that Manny video, for those of you who haven't seen it, there's a video where Rachel Zegler is signing autographs and things at stage door, and people and
she's not cool girl there though. No.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I feel like she's pretty authentic there and being pretty like, I feel like she loves her security guard, and she's like respect. I also feel like she has grown up a lot in the last like couple of years. It's also that impossible thing of like, what do you expect from someone who has been thrust into the spotlight? It comes back to the Jojo Siwa of it all.
Yeah.
It goes, I don't know what any of us expected.
Yeah.
How this child could have been normal.
No, totally.
Or could have been like, there's no world in which you are a child star and then don't have, oh my God, this is perfect link. Have you seen Quiet on Set, the documentary series?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I just watched it with Sarah, and I know that came out a while ago.
Yeah.
But fucking hell, like just thinking about child stars in general, I'm like, there is so much that goes on in that world, and so much bad stuff that you're like, how do you, when you don't have a regular schooling experience, you don't have a regular like at home experience,
Totally.
you're just never going to be an adult who is like acclimatized to real life.
And with like, I completely understand that she's trying things out. I think when she did the whole red carpet Snow White thing, I think she thought that would eat in some like feminist take. Unfortunately, it wasn't a bad take. It just landed a little bit clunkily, which was a shame because I get she was trying to be like, we're not doing Disney the same way, and it kind of backfired. I also brought up to Mel, I think it's interesting and very unfair. I would find it impossible if I was in a music theatre show to do my show 8-9 times a week and then after the show the performance still continues, but it's this performance of you being authentic and being real but trying to still set your own boundaries with security, with fans, whilst people are just thrust up in your face filming every moment.
Yeah, with cameras.
And when there's people being like, oh, her energy's so hectic or her energy's so intense, I'm like, of course it is.
Yeah.
She's just done 2 back-to-back shows of Evita.
Yeah.
Post-show adrenaline is insane. We've spoken about it on the pod the one time that someone came up to us and was like, I'm off to a funeral, and Mel's like, oh, there's worse ones if it's your grandma. Like we get pent up and
that
say...
is not something I would say in the
No,
regular,
exactly.
like...
We get pent up and say the weirdest shit. I just think in this like culture, which has been thriving for a long time, I know, because social media's been around for a while, but especially on like trying to see artists as authentic and behind the scenes and never before moments. Everyone's trying to catch celebrities in every single second of their being.
Yeah.
And then we constantly analyze like, oh, that brings up another thing I wanted to unpack. Even though I understand why these videos exist, I would hate to be a celebrity that ever tried to have a conversation with someone and then saw that there was every single moment of me like whispering or talking quietly to someone was unpacking what they're saying by like lip reading.
Yeah, the lip reading videos or like the analysing body language, like front row of a fashion show and stuff.
I mean, there's bigger problems in the world than, God, it must be hard to be a celebrity with all eyes on you. But yeah, it just made me think of that. It's impossible. It's truly impossible. I think
it's so interesting chatting about like the authenticity of it all and the post shows and the stage door. It makes me think about like stage door culture in general. It's so interesting that because those performers are not getting paid for that time that they spend at stage door, and it's this interesting thing where like audience members feel, and there's been conversations over the years growing, but it is really interesting that a lot of audience members feel like they're entitled to an actor or a performer's time after the call time is done, where it's like really every second that person is spending at stage door. And I think 2 things can be true. I think people who are like, ooh, I would never stage door, I don't owe anyone anything, it's like, no, I think that's too far the other way. But it's not right to expect. And I think talking about the authenticity thing, the Rachel Zegler of it all, for example, like I actually feel like it's a bad example because I think she is being herself in that example. But when people see like a certain level of performance at stage door or like there's a layer, it's like maybe that's actually healthy because you don't what am I trying to say?
Maybe you don't owe someone your complete raw self because you're still taking almost like the costume off, and it's the millisecond after you've taken the costume off. Maybe the costume doesn't come off properly until you're in the cab home.
Yeah,
or at home.
It's like expecting a certain level of authenticity and rawness from someone who is a complete stranger, and you're expecting that stranger to give the same version of themselves they give a friend at coffee. Over a signature at stage door. And it's like, that's actually probably not very healthy. Like I'm sure that there are, you know, like when you do theatre, you talk about like de-rolling and unrolling after a show, which is like, it sounds wanky, but like it is really important and a big part of the process of like, I've done the show. Now the show is done. I'm me again. But then I think it must be really hard going out to stage door. You're like, whoa, I am me, but how much of myself can I give to these interactions? It makes me think about like how much I know actors and big celebrities and things get, you know, bombarded with DMs and things about like personal life and do you know what I mean? How hard that is to like, it's like, oh, you want to show up as someone with like a good relationship with your like fans or supporters or people who love your stuff. But is it right that we expect that people should be reading every single DM and responding with like a heartfelt response where it's like,
yeah, I fully agree. Well, in the same way with pop artists, they perform at their arena, they're ushered onto a car, they're out of there.
Yeah.
If they're signing autographs. If they're taking pictures, usually it's through a meet and greet package or something like that.
Which is paid.
Which is
more.
paid. Whereas with music theatre, it's this weird, like you said, this weird assumption they owe you their time. There's less security, and people know that within the way that a theatre operates is everyone knows where the stage door is. The people that want to be at stage door know how to get there, know when to wait, know how long to wait for, know how it all goes down. I would find it so hard to be a music theatre performer knowing that my boundaries are I actually can't do stage door. I can't do stage door, but then looking like you think you're better than your craft.
Yep.
Whereas pop stars don't have to do that.
Yep.
Yet music theatre performers are performing the same level of like athleticism every single night.
If not more, I would say.
As a pop star, I think there's this weird blurred line when it comes to like character work and I just think that would be impossible. And I take my hat off to anyone that performs in music theatre that does stage door work every night. And like I said, it's also fucking beautiful because at stage door, I mean, we've met people after our shows and I know that they're absolutely not at the same scale, but it means so bloody much to us as well when we meet people, and it makes a lot of it seem really, really worth it to have one-on-one personal conversations. What just grinds my gears, and I've seen too many TikToks of it, is the immediate camera in face. They've just come off stage and then people are online dissecting every moment of body language, tone shift, wording, and it's like, God, can we just let people be people that make mistakes and want to be authentic and want to be able to take the jacket off? Yeah, I don't know.
I couldn't agree more. I think it's really, really interesting. I think, on a similar, obviously, like Mike was like, we're on nowhere near the levels of any of these people at all. But thinking about like how it relates to us personally, I know like sometimes we felt that feeling of like, oh my goodness, like now we've got to like go off and like after the show, after we do our live shows, like in the foyer, do our gorgeous fun things like selling merch, meeting people, like doing meet and greets and like chats. And it's like, we are so dead, so dead with like nothing left to give. And I know it's like not at all the same thing, but there's just, I can relate to that feeling of like wanting to finish a show and then wanting to go immediately with full face of makeup on, like a zombie, getting into an Uber, going home and not speaking to anyone.
100%.
Like, it's such like, especially when you've like left it all on the stage, you know, like shows like that where you're like, oh, I've got nothing left to give. And then you feel like which I think is a good thing. You feel like you want to personally thank your audience, which I think is a beautiful thing.
Totally. And we aim to do it as much as humanly possible because we know that even though sometimes it can be a little bit taxing physically and emotionally, it's the benefits completely outweigh the negatives.
1000%.
But what we're saying is someone's not a bad person if they actually just can't handle it. And I think people forget as well, there's a reason that some people work and are successful in music theatre, maybe being a pop star, because it's a role and they're acting. Some people don't have pop star mentality or want to be a charismatic, funny person at side of stage. They're actually really good at showing up, learning their lines, portraying this character.
Stepping into someone else's shours. Not being themselves.
Totally. And I feel like I was unfair before on Rachel, like unfair on Rachel, our friend. I think that she is trying her absolute best. I just find, the trying to be cool girl, chill girl, I can just see it. And because I've been it before, I'm like, girl, it's okay to just care deeply about everything and sing with fuck off vibrato and get Steven Spielberg to move your West Side Story filming so you can do Shrek the Musical. That's in you, not this like, man, I don't really give a fuck. Or maybe I'm a cunt and I need to stop dissecting it so deeply.
No, I know what you mean. I think it is really similar to it is similar to the Renee Rapp conversation of I feel like when you're a theatre kid and you've grown up a theatre kid, there is something inherently in us all that makes us feel like we have to distance ourselves from it. And it makes it feel like we have to be like, no, but I'm not a theatre kid like that. It's pick me in theatre world.
It is pick me in
1000%. It's like I feel like it's so like deeply in like the NARM, like Melbourne scene as well. Like I feel like rocking up to like a homegrown and seeing like all the BBs in like the little what are the name of those shoes. This is such a specific.
Solomon's.
No, they're like the camel toe shoes.
Oh, with the two toe and then the rest
Yeah,
of the
the
toes.
two toe, like these cool clothes, and then being like, yes, but you sing this, and it's like, absolutely, we all hold multitudes. But I think there is something in us that feels like I felt the feeling
Yes.
of being like, yeah, I'm a music theatre girl, but like I do comedy.
Oh, let it
Because
be
comedy's
known.
cool.
Let it be known. That is exactly the brand.
Yeah.
Of Mel and Sam. That's how we've built Mel and Sam. It's like theatre, but
And
we're
I
not
think it's
too
not
theatre.
theatre kids' fault. I think because let's talk about this. The world hates theatre kids.
Of course.
The world hates, for the most part, most people, unless you're in it. It's like this gorgeous thing, right? Where like if you love musical theatre and you're in it and you get it,
Yeah.
you're like, you have that feeling of like, no bet. It's
Yeah.
like the sickness
Yeah.
that we talk about with Karis, of being like a symptom of the sickness
Yep.
is that everyone else has to also get it. And you have to
Yeah.
be like, but you don't get it like I, come on, you got to
Yeah.
feel it. You got to be as passionate, because if you're not in it, you don't get it.
I think the world hates confidence. The world hates confidence and
Tea.
owning something and being like, I love this, I'm good at this, it's my life.
Yeah.
People are like, too much, too
Yeah.
obnoxious, dial it down.
But if you do that in maths in year 11 and you go, I'm good at this, I want to be an accountant, no one cares. It's because theatre kids are loud, and I think...
yes, and attention seeking.
And attention
It's an
seeking.
inherently attention seeking career and
Yeah,
or hobby.
it's true.
Emphasis on the hobby, because my parents have been to many a community production of A, B, C, D and E and gone, good God, that's a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we do take up a lot of space.
Yeah.
What's funny is when we all take up space and then people go, no, we're used to the space that you take up, and we go, nah. But like, that's not...
And we go, mm-mm.
Oh, what am I doing this
No.
weekend? I'm just in a production of Merrily We Roll Along. But anyway, how are you?
Yeah.
It's like, girl, I know you want to tell me the synopsis. So just tell me. Oh, if I had a penny for any
Yeah.
time I give a compliment to a music theatre performer at the end, especially the NARM core of it all, and I go, that was so amazing. Like, how was the process for you? Brilliant. Like, yeah, it was good. And how are you? I'm like, babe, I'm asking, we're in
That's
your
a bit of
foyer.
me.
I know, and it's a bit of me too.
Yeah, deeply so.
But I think that's the Australian tall poppy.
Yeah, what's the solution? We all need to agree that we're losers for loving music theatre,
Yep,
but also not losers because we love something loudly.
totally.
Whoa.
That's pretty profound.
And maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
And we can all agree that we're losers who can like to op shop as well.
Yep. And I
I think it's that.
had a fresh take, but that just took me by surprise. I think that's
No, go
exactly-
on, fresh
no,
take.
No, it was
Nino.
No, it was something to do with.
I like these earrings.
Thanks.
Are they new?
Yeah, I'm pretty cool, man. I just wear chain earrings, even though I can sing a C.
See, this earring, this is what we're talking about. It's this.
Oh, it's all a performance. If I was my authentic self, it would be a treble clef stud. So let's call it for what it is. Let's call it for what it is. But I need to remember.
Yeah, what was your fresh take?
Well, I'm trying to think back and go, when was the day that I was whacked with the conductor's baton, if you
Yeah.
will, and told to wake up and start being chill?
Oh, that's
Because-
a great. Yeah, when did you?
Theatre rats, comment below the year that you decided
Whoa.
to dial it back a bit.
Oh, yeah, how old you were.
I think I was in for a rude shock at uni. I think
Yeah.
first year uni, I studied jazz. I went in with the energy of Rachel Berry if she'd done 10 lines of coke. And then I was surrounded by a lot of 40-year-old jazz musicians that are like, you're insufferable. And I went, it's time to dial it back. Quick trip to Dangerfield. Few
Yeah.
distressed jeans.
Yep.
Off to class, pretending I don't actually care about the release of Fun Home. How about you?
It's a really good question. I want to actually think about it for a second. When? Because I'm thinking about it. In high school, I even think I had licks of it in high school because I was like, not yet, for sure, not as a kid. Maybe it came with puberty even. I used to have, reveal alert. I've never talked about this on pod. I can't believe I've never talked about this on pod. Guys, I used to have an Instagram account, a singing Instagram account that there was, I'm going to launch in and tell you like the whole context because I think it's important because it tells you how much of a loser I was and how much I loved it.
Yeah.
Loser, non-derogatory. This is perfect. There was like this Instagram community, right? Where it was like people who loved theatre, people who loved to sing, theatre kids, all of that, right? And there would be this, like, it was an entire community and there would be this like there would be mock auditions, right? So this can take a second to explain, but I think it's fascinating. you could have an account. So if you weren't really a performer, you didn't like to perform. Yep. I've told Sam this before, obviously. You could have an account that was like, oh, I'm a casting account, or you could have a performers account. So I had a performers account, and casting accounts would go, I'm casting a production of Wicked, but none of it was real, right? None of it, they weren't actually casting a real life production. It was just an Instagram casting. And what would happen is they would go, I'm casting a production of Wicked, and let's say the username's name was Cherry Pop Theatre.
Yep.
You would go, the hashtag might be Cherry Pop Theatre CPT Wicked casting.
Yep.
And you would upload a video of you singing a song from Wicked, or like auditioning for it, and you would hashtag CPT Wicked casting, and then these casting accounts would cast the show, right?
Yeah.
And then, but it was a whole thing. This is where it gets really good. You would, in your bio, put, and then so you would acquire points. So it would be like 50 points for getting cast as Alpa, 50 and Glinda, 40 points for getting cast as Madame Morrible, 30 points for getting
Would love
cast
to know
as
the
blah.
point system on all these castings.
Yeah.
We never really put it quite like that.
Yeah. And then in your bio, you would have your points and what shows you'd been
it's about
cast in.
accumulating points.
Yeah, accumulating points. Naturally, it's about winning.
Point alert. What were you on?
No
Point score?
idea. And but of course, because it couldn't simply just be a hobby. You had to win.
No, of course.
Anyway, when I was like, how old was I when I was doing those? Maybe like 15, 16. So I hadn't been hit with the baton then.
Yep.
Because I was uploading videos every single day, and I'd lost my login to the account. I wish I had it. It would be an absolute
Treasure
gold mine.
trove,
I'm going to
yeah.
see if I can find it.
I just
and
know
open
the
it.
energy on that app would have been palpable. Like it would have vibrated.
It was incredible.
To its own.
The other thing we used to do, we used to do long distance duets. So you would connect with people.
It's kind of TikTok-y. I love that.
It is. You would do like everything started from something else, right? Like we would do duets. So I had made friends online who I would sing with, and we would do duets and upload them, and then people used to make like fan edits of us and stuff.
That's
I was literally 15 and 16.
That is insane.
Yeah, insane. So all of that to say, hadn't been hit by the baton then.
Right.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it was like first year uni for me as well. Year 12. But I was going to say year 12 because I was famously friends with the Eshays who tagged school equipment and trains.
We all need to have our grounding activities.
I reckon at that point I was like, not me, man.
Yeah.
Maybe. And then going into doing community theatre.
Yep.
I was like, I'd made friends who weren't theatre who were like, lol, this is like stupid, but we love it. And I think that was the planning of the being like, yeah, totally, this is stupid and we love it, and not just we love it.
Was this the one that Rachel was on?
Yes.
That's insane.
Oh my God. Oh,
forgot the main
how
detail.
did I not even link that? All of that to say Rachel Zegler was one of the people who was in this Instagram community.
Did you do a duet with her?
I did not do a duet with her, but I knew exactly who she was, and like we were in the same like castings and stuff.
How many hours in your day were you spending on this app and putting time into this app?
Probably like
At its peak.
2 hours a day.
2 hours a day. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you do anything like that as a kid where you were like, do you have anything like from when you were young being like, I used to do this, and that's like goes to show how much I had not been hit with the baton?
Yes, I used to record all of the different parts of the High School Musical 3 in particular. All of the like, I want it all, I want it. And I would do both parts.
In GarageBand?
No, I would record a video of me like singing it to a karaoke track, and I would do all of Ryan's part, then it's like, imagine they're gonna love me, I mean us, and I'm going dinner, and I'm like red carpet I filmed all of that, which is just crazy. I also had a hot take on coolness. I think you are inherently knocked down a leg if you're an alto to cool zone because I reckon
I think you're bumped up.
To cool. Sorry.
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
Up to cool.
Yeah.
It is.
Agree. I was going to say,
You
there's
are more
no way you think a soprano is inherently got cool points.
So I think it's impossible to be a theatre kid, a soprano, talented.
That's so good.
That's the impossible.
Yeah.
That's the top of the food pyramid.
Yeah.
That is the junk food. It's impossible to go down. But if you're an alto, maybe down one. If you have other hobbies like you're good at sport, we can knock it down again. If you have brothers that bully you, that'll knock you down again.
If you have a hot brother though, bumps you up.
That'll bump you up. That absolutely. If you have a stage parent, well, you're bumped back up again.
Bumped down, or I'm getting confused.
Stage parent would bump you back up because they're
cool.
To not cool.
To not cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know my own system.
I don't know anymore, but I know exactly what you mean.
Good
Other
God.
things that would bump you up.
What's there some other things that would bump you up to cool? Or bump you up to less cool. I would say, what else?
Let's do it like this. I think this makes more sense, not to be a micromanager.
Please.
Bumping up
Yep.
to more cool.
Bumping up to more cool.
Yeah.
I get you.
More
I get
cool
you.
points as a
I
theatre
understand.
kid,
I
more
was seeing
bump
it.
down.
I was seeing it as a taking away of hecticness to
Yeah,
more
I
chill.
understand.
But bumping up to cool. Okay.
Bumping up to cool as
Here
a
we
theatre
go.
kid if you have a hot brother.
Okay. Hot brother. Bumping up to cool. Right.
Yeah.
Then we've got if you're an alto. Yeah, you're pretty cool. Soprano. Back down.
Yeah, and got a stage parent.
Down.
Down.
Even lower.
But you're also captain of the swim squad.
That'd pump you back
Yeah.
up. 100%.
You have hair extensions.
That would bump you. That would bump you up.
Up, yeah.
I would say that would bump you up.
Yeah.
If you were also singing stuff like Delta Goodrum and Missy Higgins and stuff,
and
that'd bump
uploading
you.
YouTube covers with like in cursive tone.
Yep, that'd bump you up to coolness.
Yep.
Or maybe does it bump you down too? Maybe it cancels itself out. It is interpretive, as is art.
It's your own system.
Yep. If you
More.
if you performed a comedy role within the musical where you kind of came on
That's
just for a
so
little,
good.
then you're bumped up to cool.
Bumped up. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And people in the cast love you.
Yep.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Yep. I love that. What else do we have?
This is all to say this is obviously all fake, but this is how people see
Oh,
it.
I've got another one. Like
not real.
Bell, bright tone, instantly uncooler.
Yes,
Even though
absolutely.
you might try. The
Compared to husky.
husky, up.
Up.
But
Agree.
yeah, that's very strong. I love that. What else is there? God, there's many more
so
tiers.
many things.
Sorry to our non-theatre lovers.
What about oh, I've got it.
Yep.
If you're so obviously if you're a theatre kid, you're doing dance lessons.
Yep.
If your best style is hip hop, congratulations.
Bumped up.
If your best style is tap,
Back down.
Devastating.
And if you're back down here and you watch Glee for the songs, you're bumped down. But if you're watching it to watch Santana and Britney potentially fuck, you're bumped back up to cool. And you can do two at once. That would move you up a half step. The cool
so
ladder.
good. The cool ladder. The
cool
perceived
ladder.
coolness of theatre kids
Oh.
in school.
We're all just losers. You know
How long
what?
have we been going for? Oh yeah, absolutely.
32 minutes.
Time to wrap. Well, yeah,
I
go
think
for it,
in
girl.
protest, I need to start wearing a treble clef necklace because it is my biggest passion. I love music. Why am I not wearing it as jewelry? Why am I wearing broken hearts or the word brat? I actually should be wearing a treble clef.
And do you know what it could be time for me for?
What?
Maybe to get a drama masks tattoo of the happy and sad face.
I think so.
It's time to wear it more proudly.
You know what? Maybe I'll even change my Instagram bio to I love music theatre. I'm not afraid for people to know it.
Sammy sings.
Sammy sings. Good God, I need to get a treble clef tattoo. I'm going to, not a tattoo. We'll start with a necklace.
Side note, Sam and I really want to get matching tattoos.
Yeah.
But we can't decide what we should get. So if you have an idea of what you think we should get, what are things we've thought about doing?
Just kind of the word whatever. 'Cause we're pretty chill. We were thinking of getting one as like a patchwork for each kind of show. And then we're like, that's a bit random.
Yeah, or we were like, because you know how we have our phrase that's like, it's you, me, and a green bag of props. We were like, do we
That's
get
inherently uncool.
Yeah, inherently because
See?
we're losers.
Because we're losers.
But
We wear parachute pants to the theatre for when we're teching, instantly cooler.
and I chose these glasses frames for a Renee Rapp fantasy.
So we're instantly cooler
So
again.
it cancels it out. You understand.
Oh, we got to make this scale. We got to actually make it on Canva,
Yeah.
so people can figure out where they fit.
Where they fit. And sopranos with bell tones. They're gonna panic and hurry out to go get some camel toe shoes stacked.
But according to all of this, it all kind of like folds into itself like an envelope. It's all cool because we're loving something loudly.
because we love it loudly.
And that's the takeaway. We have no time for pop culture in any other form because treble clefs are flying around everywhere. Music matters.
Music
Let
matters.
there be music. Oh, Rachel. Oh, God, I'm going to think
She's
about
so amazing.
She's so amazing. If anyone is in London right now, please go to Evita. Record the whole thing, upload it as a bootleg on YouTube. We'd love to see it.
Please go to Evita and tell us what the like I'm obsessed with. So clearly they've taken the director's gone, and I'm going in a direction with this production of Evita.
Yeah.
Like the all the videos that have been leaked from Rainbow High where it looks like she's like performing in a pop concert. I'm like, hell yeah, there's got to be a meaning behind that. I don't know what it is though.
I don't know. That's so funny.
I thought it might have been like a kind of like rise of her as a politician being like similar to like the rise of a pop star, and like she was almost like viewed like with the famousness of a pop star type thing, and the like oogleness that people like applied to her. But I don't know. So if you've seen the production, please let me know.
And I have not seen Evita. I just know a few songs, and that beautiful blue and bright yellow branding, once again, uncool. Let's be honest, lemon yellow and Australian Open blue, uncool.
I know Evita very well because when I worked at the art centre, I was
another uncool statement.
So
and another layer of uncool. Go for it.
When I worked at the art centre,
Shudder alert.
What'd you say?
Shudder alert.
Shudder alert. When the production that featured Tina Arena as fucking Evita Peron, Eva Peron, I saw that show 1,000,001 times.
As you should.
And Gemma Ricks was the understudy, and the old people would always come to the theatre, and if Gemma Ricks was on, they'd be like, "We want our money back. Where's Tina?" And then I would be like, "Gemma Ricks is what are you talking about?
Gemma Ricks is a star.
Get in there, sit your little tushies down, and enjoy the magic of theatre."
Enjoy the magic of theatre.
That's everything, I think.
That's everything I think
We've
too.
waffled on in this crispy apartment.
I feel like I've just had a big therapy session and I've come clean about a lot of things. I feel weightless
I
right
feel
now.
good. Free as a bird, babe.
I do 5 pirouettes as I get up because I'm fucking ecstatic, to be honest.
Send this episode to someone in your life who thinks they're too cool for music theatre and tell them to listen, because this is a frickin' discourse.
This is discourse indeed. Rats. That's it.
That's it.
Thank you for joining for Ratfood.
I have a face twitch that just won't quit.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm feel like see if I can get it on camera. Is it doing?
Go on in.
Ew, my skin looks so bad. Sorry.
This would be great for the people that are just listening from an audio version.
True. It's not coming. The Twitch got camera shy.
Oh, hey. That's it, Rats. We're touring to Edinburgh. We're coming to Edinburgh Fringe.
Yep.
Come along. If you know anyone that wants to see 2 uncool losers in treble clef tattoos bop around the stage, but then absolutely go, "What's up, guys? No, come on in. Come on in if you're late. It's chill. Take flash." Oh, it's all a performance.
What's up, Edinburgh? What the fuck's up, Edinburgh?
All a performance. It's all a performance. It's all a performance. If you have vibrato, it's all a performance. Okay.
That's all. Please, genuinely, though, if you do know people in the UK, please send them to our Edinburgh season. We'll be in Edinburgh for the entirety of August doing the Platonic Human Centipede. Cringe! Plug alert. All done. I'm going to go eat a pizza.
Yeah. We will not see you at stage door. Motherfuckers. Nah.
We've got boundaries. Just kidding.
All right. Love you.
I love you. See you at stage door.
This is a Grouse House podcast.
Mel and Sam would like to acknowledge that this podcast was created and recorded on stolen land.
The original custodians of this land have had a rich history of storytelling for over 65,000 years, and we pay our respects to the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, whose land we are making rat bag on.
Treaties were never signed, sovereignty was never ceded, always was and always will be Aboriginal land.